But yes, let's go into this.
Weaker than expected guidance for the full year bookings, but stock we mentioned is up 60% year on year. Joining us right now to break down the numbers and what is going on. We'll also talk about Grand Theft Auto, as you might imagine. Strauss Zelnick is here, Take-Two chairman and CEO. What is going on? Where are we here?
Listen, we just reported a great year, pretty much firing across the entire range of the company. So Rockstar reported a better quarter for Red Dead Redemption and Grand Theft Auto Online.
Right, so that is really interesting. That for whatever the reason, I think I read that Red Dead Redemption sold 4 million copies from January to May of just this year. That is incredible. And you know how much I love Red Dead Redemption 2. One of my best games of all time, along with Shenmue. So this is like fantastic news, which also gives some merit to the rumor that they're going to release a next gen version of Red Dead Redemption 2. I'm gonna probably speak more on that in the next stream when a bit more information comes out, because they mention that they've got 4 IPs coming out this year, I think it is. So if one of them is Red Dead Redemption 2 next gen, which is probably one of the most easiest things they can do if they want a cash grab, just them making it 60 frames, higher resolution, that alone could sell them more PS5 Pros, for example. So Strauss saying this might give some merit to the possibility of us getting a next gen version of Red Dead Redemption 2.
2K had terrific releases with Civ 7. NBA is up year over year, sold in almost 10 million units. And Zynga has multiple hits in market, which is tough to do in the mobile space.
But everybody's focused on Grand Theft Auto 6, right? Like that is
That's
the,
right.
Is that a bot? That seems like an and.
The fact that your shares could be up 60% with the release delay of that by another 6 months.
That's what I was going to ask. Let's talk about the delay because people just want to understand what's happening there.
Well, it's pretty short delay. It's less than 6 months. And generally, when we announce a date.
So that's something to take note of. He says that it was less, the delay is less than 6 months, which also proves a point that I made in my other stream, that I believe the game was going to be released on the 25th of October, if not the 25th of November. If I'm correct about 25th of November 2025 was the original date, then that would make it December, January, February, March, April, May. That's 6 months. Or the 25th of October, which I most likely feel like it was. That's a 7 month delay. But we're forgetting that once the game goes gold, I'd say about between 2 weeks to a month, all the journalists get the game. So that's IGN, GameSpot, Eurogamer, the influencers, gaming ones online. They get the game before they then get to release their reviews for the game. So they're delaying the game up until, I believe, March. They'll do their more so heavy marketing from probably February, because there was that rumor about the game trailer 2 might be announced or released this Valentine's, but maybe whatever that rumor was, maybe that might happen next year, and then we get maybe trailer 3 in February of next year, or maybe we get it this year and we get like we start getting the ads for pre-orders, which apparently is coming out this year, but we will probably get something big February of next year. The game goes out early April, end of March, and then the game goes, matter of fact, that's too early. End of April. Yeah, end of April is when all the journalists and everyone gets the game. And then we get the game as the public May 26th. But to avoid any kind of leaks, because they've already dealt with one already, I'm pretty sure they'll keep it sealed until first week of May. So the game will be completed April. So that actually makes sense. 6 months. But I believe all the journalists will get the game about a week prior to. So they'll have a week to complete the game.
Certain we're able to hit that date. But the key thing is that Rockstar Games is trying to create the best thing anyone's ever seen in entertainment, not just interactive entertainment. That's a tall order. And I think consumers have huge hopes for the title. We just launched the second trailer to 475 million views in 24 hours, setting a new record. The last record, incidentally, was ours.
How much do you think the whole system was thinking about that in terms of the ecosystem? Was for the holidays? Was thinking about that game?
Well, let's not overstate the case. We all look at one another's release schedule and make sure that we don't stack up releases. So that's not unique to Grand Theft Auto. But the delay itself is really a reflection.
Wait, what exactly did he say? Let me try to catch that. Did he say what I thought he said?
Overstate the case. We all look at one another's release schedule and make sure that we don't stack up releases. So that's not unique to Grand Theft.
Okay, so he's basically referring to the fact that if they're releasing their game, they're not gonna release when another major AAA game will be coming out. Because I'm thinking about Mafia Old Country, which is also a Rockstar IP. There was no release date until this got its new release date. Mafia Old Country then got its release date. I think it's for August. So we will be playing that going into fall, which would have been the original date for GTA 6, which is not happening. So therefore it's in spring of next year. So yeah, let me hear that again.
That in terms of the ecosystem, was for the holidays, was thinking about that game.
Well, let's not overstate the case. We all look at one another's release schedule and make sure that we don't stack up releases. So that's not unique to Grand Theft Auto.
Okay, so that might give a little more credence to the possibility of Red Dead Redemption 2 next gen coming out this year. They have some other things cooking for this year. So to help avoid cannibalizing sales, and giving more time to polish GTA 6, the delay kind of fits in with their schedule.
But the delay itself is really a reflection of desire to polish and create the best possible experience
Yeah.
for consumers. And we as a company have been known not to have sort of slavish devotion to release dates, but rather to seek the highest quality entertainment. And that's really, supported our
Great.
success over many years.
Have you played with it? Have you seen it?
Is it done? Is it ready?
John, you don't play a lot.
Still
though.
rendering?
I'm not a gamer.
We were talking about this earlier. You don't play a lot. So.
They're kind of
Not a
speaking
lot.
for
I
him.
don't play video games.
At
but-
all?
No, I do not. I'm not the consumer in chief. I am
So when they
responsible
show
for
you the game,
Consumer
Right.
in chief.
do you
That's funny.
offer notes on the game? How does that work?
I share my opinions pretty openly. I think being the consumer in chief in an entertainment business as the CEO is probably a mistake. I wasn't the consumer in chief in the movie business or the television business or the music business, even though, I certainly can
Right.
read a script and I definitely love music and I was in.
That's a misconception. He is like the chief executive officer. He's the CEO of the major company, Take-Two, which owns Rockstar. You would need to ask that question to a Rockstar either developer or director about that, because his whole focus is the product being the best product it can be to make the most amount of money it can make to satisfy all the stock and stakeholders, all the partners involved in pumping money into this particular project.
Musician. That's not my role. My role is to attract, retain, and motivate the best talent in the business and then get out of their way.
In terms
Right.
of just trends in the business, how much of it is going mobile, and how much do you think stays on the console?
Well, mobile is a fast-growing part of our business, and the interactive entertainment business broadly is the fastest-growing part of the entertainment business. The reason that we acquired Zynga nearly 3 years ago is because mobile is such an important part of the business. Today, that's a little bit over 50% of our net bookings, and it's going incredibly
And
well.
what does that look
That's
like
huge.
to you 5 years from now?
Well, that's actually the point. The reason that we made that decision at the time that we did was I looked actually 10 years down the road and said, I can't imagine in 10 years only being exposed to console and PC. I think we have to be exposed to mobile. That's where a huge part of the market is. That's basically our older consumers and our female consumers are actively in the mobile business.
And so it's different. That's what's interesting about it is, okay, people are going to be on the phone, but they're still the core gamers are not necessarily migrating in the same way.
It's not a migration. It's in the same way that people aren't
Adaptation,
migrating
most
from
likely.
half-hour comedies to 2-hour movies. And people aren't migrating from 2-hour movies to TikTok.
Right.
These serve different needs at different times and sometimes different populations.
Can I ask you to weigh in on a headline this morning, because I'm curious what you think. I don't know if you saw, Charter is merging with Cox.
I did.
And I would imagine broadband is an important part of the way you think about how you get these games to people.
Absolutely.
So is that a good thing or a bad thing? What do you think happens? Do you think the government allows this? And do you think there's going to be a lot more of these mergers?
I think the combined market share is such that this FTC is likely to be friendly to the deal. I think the last FTC obviously would have stood in the way because,
Because what else would they do?
Well,
Right.
exactly.
Okay.
I mean, 'cause they stood in the way of you grabbing a taxi on Broadway. So I think that it'll probably be fine. I think it's a reflection of the fact that with cable programming going where it's going, which is to say in a southerly direction, what remains is a really good distribution business, and that consolidation makes sense.
Does the satellite business matter to you? Do you think about that? We were talking. I only mentioned that because we were talking about sort of the train tracks and
Well-
the idea that maybe satellite is ultimately going to upend the value of those train tracks.
So I think
That's
we've got
really- I mean,
the main
what
bulk
you're seeing with new satellites is actually just
of GTA 6
traditional overbuilding.
information from the
But overbuilding is
CNBC
valuable
interview
when
with
people
Strauss
are
Zelnick.
underserved in areas that have fiber.
But-
And that does still exist both here and outside.
It's interesting
of the US.
to see his thoughts
I'm not worried
on
about overbuilding actually
things in
destroying
the
value and
gaming
distribution
sphere,
because
media
it's not
sphere
historically
in
the
general.
case. Secondly, there's so much opportunity for broader distribution. From our point of view, as an entertainment company, a software creator, more distribution, better distribution, always a good thing.
You want the overbuilding.
Well, we want to be able to reach consumers wherever they are in the highest quality way.
Which may include, we talk about, and maybe, we could talk a little bit about whether it is the Middle East or other regions that you're eyeing for expansion, but, these are not, it's not just kind of industrial businesses that have their eye on those dollars. And I think that was highlighted with the president's trip this week, and some of it was all about AI. It's not the oil stories from 20 and 30 years ago.
Oh, that's right. And look, our business still is basically a United States and Western Europe and selected parts of Asia story. That's where our revenue comes from. And yet there's this massive growing market of consumers who love video games located in the Middle East, located in India, located in Africa. We are not serving that population in the way we need to. And if we don't focus on that now, where we're going to be in 10 years. So
is internet a part of that?
Absolutely. Yeah. Distribution, obviously. Higher quality, particularly for Africa and India, is a big issue. The region, Middle East, is pretty well developed.
Let me ask you a different question.
Infrastructure point of view.
All right. So that is Strauss Zelnick. And he basically referred to the delay as, from how it sounded, it was intentional. The intention was to delay GTA 6. Now, I'm just wondering, how deep in development did they know they were going to delay it? I kind of want to say I feel like they knew they were going to delay it in 2024 before Christmas. Probably fall of 2024. They knew they were going to delay it because from that point, it would be, are we going to meet fall of next year, 2025? And they said from fall to Christmas, there was still radio silence. So I guess they were just planning on how to drop the news that, one, we're going to delay the game. But along with that, we're going to introduce this whole website, 70 screenshots, and trailer 2. Because all in one go. They could have done the website at during Christmas. They could have done the 70 screenshots February Valentine's Day, and then May 2026 just gone. Well, now they could have done trailer 2, but instead they was like, you know what, we'll just do it all as one package to showcase trailer 2. So that's that. I'm gonna stick with what I said, which is the game is gonna be here May 26th. It's gonna be made and available April. But I feel like they're gonna meet this deadline, and that there's not gonna be another delay.